This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
33 people's lives taken in the first 47 days of 2020 in Indianapolis. RTV6 is working to help find a solution as the community cries out to say something has to change.
A united front against violence in the city just ahead, what's being done and what it'll take to turn things around.
A grieving mother starts a much-needed support group for friends and families of gun violence victims. I'm Stephanie Wade with a new effort here in Anderson.
Now at 6, working for you means RTV6 is here for you.
Our commitment and focus is to provide essential storytelling to bridge the gap.
And that means exploring issues at a deeper level, especially as the community continues to grapple with the growth of deadly gun violence.
Not even 2 months into 2020, and the city of Indianapolis has seen 33 lives lost to violence. RTV6 is looking deeper into the homicide count to provide you with some context. 33 homicides in 2020 so far. That's 17 more than Indy had in this time last year. And when we went back through the last 5 years, we found this year's number also well outpaces the number of homicides on February 17th the last several years. February of 2020 itself has seen 17 homicides. Police are still trying to figure out what led to many of the most recent deadly shootings. Right now on the RTV6 News app, our digital team keeps an eye on the city violence numbers so you can see what's happening in your neighborhood, and so that together we can track the issue. We have a map of all the locations where people have been killed in Indianapolis in 2020 down to the street.
And as investigators try to piece it all together, we are looking ahead at how the city can come back from this. RTV6 is going out into the community with organizations that have been trying to work instead of worry when it comes to cracking the code of violence in the city. Our Troy Washington has a deeper look.
Jamichael Fan might have stayed stuck without a high school diploma if it weren't for Fathers and Family Center throwing him the rope he needed to get a leg up in life.
Once I called them and told them that I had a child on the way, it was like, you're welcome.
A decade later, he's a homeowner, has finished one college degree and is planning on working on another. In fact, he now works as the father engagement lead for Marion County, bringing things full circle for him.
It takes a new community to help change old behavior. Otherwise, you're going to go back to the familiar.
For more than 2 decades, Dr. Wallace McLaughlin has worked against the negativity in the city. It's about digging deep to reveal the real problems, pushing people to resort to violence, pulling fathers up and teaching them while breaking the cycle of dysfunction in communities. It's a tried and true process.
We are not the only solution, but I can stand foot to foot, toe to toe with anyone to say that we have certainly been a part of the solution because we have turned the lives around of thousands of men.
Over at New Direction Church, Pastor Kenneth Sullivan Jr. is saving more than just souls through his program called Saves. He's able to lead people to a better life, a mission that found its way to him through tragedy.
My best friend was murdered when I was 18 years old. We had just graduated high school over at Arlington High School around the corner, and we were excited, and he was killed. And so that changed my whole life.
He said slowing down the gun violence starts by giving hope to those who feel hopeless.
So that young men and young women would not even have a desire to do some of what they see in the streets because we're exposing them to a whole new world of opportunity for their careers, for their future.
He says opening new doors is the only way to close the doors that might lead down a deadly or destructive path. Working for you on the East Side, Troy Washington, RTV6.
If you could help police solve any of these crimes, leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. You may be eligible for a cash reward.
A central Indiana woman is taking matters into her own hands for families of victims of gun violence in her city.
She says when her son was killed, she had nowhere to turn, so she is starting a group herself.
RTV6's Stephanie Wade is in Anderson with this woman's new effort tonight.
It's different when you lose a child, and then it's even more different if your child's been murdered. People don't know how to react to that.
With no way to cope with her grief after her 38-year-old son, Tommy Ogle, was shot and killed last year over an argument in an alley near downtown Anderson, Sandy Stapleton sought out support groups. She tried her church's grief group, but says no one could relate to losing a child to murder.
Someone else took their life. I mean, it wasn't out of a sickness that you can prepare yourself for, or even a car accident, you know, because that to me would be an act of God. And if someone else pulls the trigger, then that's not an act of God. That's an act of someone else.
Someone took him from you.
Correct. So taking him versus just dying, I think that's where I feel different.
Then she tried Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, but says the closest chapter was in Muncie.
Our county needs it. I mean, we don't have anything in Madison County.
So she's starting her own support group called Tommy's Voice after her son. She plans on bringing counselors and experts in to speak to families during meetings and just lend an ear, a shoulder to cry on, and resources if they need it.
I do know that there's other moms out there. There's other sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles that have lost people due to a gun violence because it's everywhere.
One thing she wants grieving families like hers to feel.
That there's hope. There's hope to smile.
Group meetings for Tommy's Voice are held the third Thursday of every month. This week's meeting will be held here at Crossroads United Methodist Church in Anderson. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And that meeting is happening right now and lasts until 9 o'clock. For more details or contact information, head over to this story on the IndyChannel.com or the RTV6 app.
We say RTV6 is working for you, and we mean that. If you've been affected by the violence in our city, or if you're helping in efforts to make a difference, we do want to hear from you. Call us or send a message to workingforyou@RTV6.com, and we can work together to end the violence.
Turning now to your forecast as we track some rain moving through central Indiana on what turned into a gloomy day.
Let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory now to see how the rest of the night could go. Hey, Kevin.
And it's another winter rain event. You know, since January 1st, we've had 8 inches of precipitation, so we're 4 inches above average. And of course, as you know, all that, most of it has been in the form of rain. To the north, the rain a little more intense as you get north of Peru. Light rain, Lafayette, Kokomo, down to the metro area. Keeping an eye on this, temperatures working in our favor tonight. The warmer air will continue to lift to the north. Bloomington, Spencer, Columbus in the 50s now. It's 54, as you can see down in Bedford, while 34 is the temperature in Logansport, 35 in Kokomo. The warm air will continue to push the cooler temperatures out of the state tonight. Our rain chances continue to increase. Those of you who have not had any rain yet will by the time we get late tonight into the overnight hours. 7 p.m. Rain still focused to the north and west. By the time we get to 11, more on the line from Terre Haute to Indy to Muncie, and then starts to depart early in the day tomorrow.
An Indiana mother is on a mission to raise awareness about grain bin safety.
Anita Howard lost her 18-year-old son to a grain bin accident in November.
Megan Sanctorum spoke with her about her efforts today and also found out what one local fire department is doing to help keep farmers safe.
It's a message from a grieving mother.
My mission is to save one life.
Who doesn't want other families to experience the tragedy hers did when 18-year-old Colton Howard died in a grain bin accident near Terre Haute.
And like many other farmers, Colton had the mindset that something like being engulfed in a grain bin could never possibly happen to him. Well, guess what? It did.
His mother created this video talking about the dangers of grain bins. She posted it on Facebook Sunday. It already has more than 5,000 shares.
It will be on someone's mind when they're in that bin and they recognize a problem. You know, I want them to think back to this handsome young man who was just 18 years old and a split decision claimed his life and is gone forever.
Bargersville firefighters shared Howard's story. They say there's been an increase in grain bin incidents, so they continually train for rescues and update their equipment. It's equipment and training they hope to never have to use, but something they know is so important to their community.
There's not a person on this department that doesn't understand the hazards of grain bins and has the general knowledge of where to start when a rescue is needed to be made.
Howard says prevention is just as important. She hopes to take her message to the National FFA Convention this year, making it her life's mission to connect with farmers and prevent tragedy.
I'll never know if that life has been saved, so my job will never be done.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
A case of right place, right time leads to the quick arrest of a person accused of crashing into someone's house.
That unusual police story tops our RTV6 news feed tonight.
An off-duty IMPD officer was driving on German Church Road near 56th Street today when they watched a vehicle veer off the road and hit a house. That officer says the driver backed out and just drove away, so the officer followed. The vehicle ended up at a hotel on Pendleton Pike where officers arrested the driver. No one was hurt in that crash, but the home sustained some significant damage.
Howard County is about to get its first safe haven baby box. The city of Kokomo is expected to soon install the baby box at Kokomo Fire Department Station 1 on West Superior Street. Baby boxes are designed for people to anonymously give up an unwanted infant without the fear of being arrested or prosecuted. The boxes are outfitted with technology that controls the temperature and triggers an alarm as soon as a baby is placed in it.
It's going to be the first redesign of this magnitude in 70 years. More routes and a higher frequency of trips. Indigo says its new grid system that will replace the current hub and spoke system is meant to make your life easier. Some changes have already taken place, but you can expect most of the transition to happen in June.
They say the earlier you get an edge, the better shot you'll have at a successful career.
But how do you do that with a full load of high school classes?
Like this, coming up in Hiring Hoosiers, the program helping young minds work smarter, not harder, on the path to the future.
52 weeks and counting until Indianapolis hosts the NBA All-Star Game. So what did they learn during this year's event in Chicago? I'm Brad Brown in the Windy City. We take a tour with Pacers executives as they get set for the NBA Showcase event. That story coming up on RTV6.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's passion project, linking you up with skills, resources, and available jobs.
Yeah, we love to always find ways that schools in Central Indiana are giving their students a leg up in finding career and real-world experience.
Our Kelsey Anderson joins us from Mount Vernon High School with the details on a program that has been getting students classroom to career ready for more than 20 years.
Between balancing school, sports, extracurriculars, and having a social life, a lot of students can't find the time to have a job and gain that real-world experience that is so important after high school. And a program here at Mount Vernon is allowing students to do just that.
So I'm a community relations intern for the community relations director at Mount Vernon.
Madison King is a senior at Mount Vernon High School.
I promote things for the school, so like certain events. I type articles for the school website. Create flyers and graphics and things like that.
She's currently in the interdisciplinary cooperative education program, meaning she only goes to school for half the day, and during the other half, she's working.
I do after-school sports and extracurriculars, so yeah, this is really helpful, being able to come in the morning and just get my work done in the morning, go to school, and then that's it.
King says she was already interested in marketing as a career path post-college.
I just was looking into it, looking into graphic design, and then this internship came up, and I thought it was the perfect opportunity to immerse myself in marketing before I just blindly choose a major.
But program coordinator Karen Cochran says knowing what you want to do post-high school isn't the case for everyone. And the focus for those students is to help them gain the soft skills they don't always learn in the classroom.
A lot of students don't think that they learn something from coming into this program. They think, oh, it's just a job. I'll never use this later on. Well, what they don't realize is they learn to show up on time, take responsibility, clock in, clock out, listen to directions, ask for help, and that's the biggest thing, and take initiative.
Yeah, this was my first real experience getting interviewed and setting up meetings, and it was nerve-wracking, but it was awesome, and it was a great experience.
King says she recommends the program to any senior who is able to take it.
I think it's really important to get that work experience before you go to college, and it's helping me a lot because it's helping me realize that this is something that I actually want to do in my future. So I think it's a great opportunity.
Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Well, Cochran says as the community in Hancock County continues to grow, so does the program and the opportunities for students.
If you think you might have a good opportunity for one of these students, you can reach out to Karen Cochran. Her email is linked on this story over on hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin.
And a lot of students with President's Day off. Half of the day was dry. Then the rain moved in during the afternoon hours. Temperatures 44 in New Pal, 45 in Martinsville, 48 in Edinburgh. As you step to the south, temperatures get warmer in the 50s down along the Ohio River, all the way up to Bloomington and Columbus. We'll push the cool temperatures into lower Michigan temporarily. during the overnight hours, our temperatures will continue to warm up. As far as rainfall, Lafayette's had 0.14 of an inch so far today. We've got more to go. I think through 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, the most likely time for the rain. As you take a look at current radar, very light showers, Terre Haute, Indy area, as you get from Peru to Lafayette back to Champaign, Illinois. Northwest of that line is where heavier showers will remain here for the next couple of hours, but that line will drop to the south. Here's your rainfall potential for all of central Indiana. Through tomorrow morning, we should not aggravate any flooding situation. We're just looking at about 1/4 to maybe a 1/2 inch, but generally 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of rain. 7 o'clock tonight, rain just to the northwest where we showed you. By the time we get to 11, more along Interstate 70. While you sleep overnight, rain continues to push south and east. Seymour, Greensburg, Richmond, anywhere along I-74 between Greensburg and Cincinnati will have wet weather tomorrow morning. The rest of central Indiana will be drying out. Temperatures that are mild to start the day will be much cooler later, so dress for the cooler temperatures. Don't be overconfident. That morning high will fall into, in some cases, the 30s. Temperatures Wednesday and Thursday will be cooler from start to finish, but the difference, they come with sunshine those 2 days. We start a dry stretch Wednesday that will last probably through Saturday. 27 with sunshine as we get the morning started Wednesday, 32 at noon. Afternoon high temperature stays in the middle 30s, maybe a little warmer than that. But watch, as I put this in motion, what you don't see, a bunch of cloud cover. We'll have decent amount of sunshine on the way. There are your Wednesday high temperatures from north to south. Into the weekend, our chance for rain will return. That's Sunday and Monday. Temperatures those days warm enough for mainly rain. If it starts early enough, you may have a little snow mix in there, changing to rain.
We got through that really cold day, so I'm just glad about that.
And yeah.
In the past, rear view.
Yep.
RTV6 Sports Director Dave First joining us now. Hey, Dave.
I am indeed. Thanks, guys. Good evening to you. We'll see how long it takes the smile to fade on Domas Sabonis' face, his first trip to the NBA All-Star Game, and it began with an introduction.
We knew he'd be an all-star from everything he's shown us. From the Indiana Pacers, Domantas Sabonis. Yeah.
That would be Common, who was anything but with the intros last night. Sabonis got in after the first wave, played 19 minutes. His only points came at the free throw line, 2 of 4. In fact, 2 points on the night. He watched like the rest of us, though. A fantastic fourth quarter, one of the best in All-Star history. The new rules worked, with Domas and Team LeBron winning by 2.
It was really intense, you know. It was great seeing up close, like, the best athletes just, like they just wanted to win, you know. They were saying things, you know. They were not going to let anything easy stop them.
And now it's on to the All-Star Game in Indy. New logo revealed and a new take on the annual game. Brad Brown with the Sports Extra Spotlight.
With a ceremonial pass between mascots, Chicago hands off to Indianapolis as the next host city for the NBA All-Star Game.
You know, we haven't done this event since 1985, which I was involved in then, but it was so small compared to, even though we had a bigger crowd because we did it at the Dome. And so there's a lot to learn.
This week, members of the Pacers staff and the Indy All-Star Committee spent several days in Chicago observing, studying, and compiling notes about what has become so much more than just a basketball game.
For Indianapolis and the state of Indiana, it's a huge showcase opportunity from a global standpoint. The All-Star Game is a really great way to engage future fans and obviously hopefully make them Pacers fans in the process.
From community events and kids clinics to media day and practice that's now open to ticketed fans, the NBA All-Star Game has become a multi-venue, week-long event.
You can bounce a basketball in any weather. Drive around Indiana and you're still going to see more hoops than you're going to see a lot of different things. And I think everybody will join in the celebration of that.
Chicago's size is its downfall hosting an event like this. While the hotels in the middle of activity fall in the center of downtown, media day and practice fell 2 miles south at Wintrust Arena. The United Center sits far west of Chicago's Loop. Indy's downtown will be its big advantage in 2021.
I think our city, we have a huge benefit with the convention center and the arena being so close to each other. So Georgia Street, we're going to have downtown lit. So everybody's going to be downtown.
It's so great for the city of Indianapolis. It's long overdue. It's such a great basketball town and state. And, it's very fitting that they'll be hosting the game.
It's all about Indianapolis then. Chicago's done their deal. LA's gone. And Indianapolis is here we are. Now we got to help do our thing so we can help Cleveland be better and we can help Utah be better after that. What we want them to do is leave Indianapolis saying that was the tightest, the easiest, best all-star game I've ever been to.
In Chicago, Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
Another chance for Indianapolis to shine. Countdown is on. Next year's game we played on Valentine's Night 2021. Can't wait. The news at 6 continues after this.
2020 Ultima.
This is the news at 6. Today's RTV6 photo of the day, a winter snapshot of Indiana state bird. A beautiful cardinal puffs up its feathers as it soaks in some sunlight on a snow-covered tree.
Joe Speck took this in his backyard in Westfield. He said it was perfect timing. The cardinal sat in the tree for just a few seconds and then flew away. But he was able to snap this photo.
Beautiful photo there, too.
You think he took it with his phone or...
Had to have taken it with his phone, I think.
Okay.
As opposed to what?
Like a real camera. Because, I have a hard time, getting the good shots with my phone when it's at any kind of distance. But maybe Joe was in the shrubs. And then,
right. It's like, there's that cardinal. Gotcha.
All right, let me show you the rain showers. They're from Terre Haute toward Indy northwest. Definitely more rain north and west. There's your probability of rain overnight. It is high. Cardinal red shows 70% chance at 11 o'clock tonight. Temperatures in the morning warmer than when you go to bed at night. That's unusual.
That is unusual.
Yeah.
Wow.
It'll be a nicer walk to the car later tonight.
Strolled. Enjoy. We'll see you back here at 7.